Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the Mongols. So the newly revealed Mongols for Age of Empires 4. We're going to be having a little look at their tech tree and give you a little bit of an overview of the civilization. So the Mongols are described as being a 3-star difficulty civilization with their main traits being aggression, nomadic and mobility. So the masters of mobility and mounted warfare, the Mongols can easily relocate their camps. So you can pack up all your buildings and move around the map as we've seen in trailers. They gain economic benefits from setting up near stone outcroppings and from raiding enemy buildings. Enemies must deal with cavalry attacks from the opening moments of play. In terms of the Great Dominion, forego the need to build houses and begin with the maximum population. Traders provide bonus resources when produced in large numbers. We have sacred ovoos. Extract valuable stone using the ovoo. Villagers cannot gather stone, nor can it be gained through the market or tribute. The ovoo provides improved unit production and research to buildings within its influence area. And we have the Khanate. So the Mongols were able to field a singular mighty Khan to provide powerful bonuses to all nearby military units with signal arrows. Early cavalry are excellent raiders and all units gain bonus resources by igniting enemy buildings. Looking at the Civ bonuses, they plunder plus 50 food and gold by igniting enemy buildings. All buildings can be packed up and redeployed to a new location. They start with maximum population limit and no need for houses. Early horsemen in the Dark Age and early lancers in the Feudal Age. They can double produce units or research advanced versions of technologies using stone, but they do have to be within the area of influence of the ovoo to be able to do that. So you can spend your stone that you're gaining from the ovoo and make 2 lancers instead of 1, but it is quite costly from what I've seen. They can gain plus 10% food, wood and gold and stone from trade routes with more traders, and transport ships have plus 50% health and move 15% faster. So in terms of the influence, as we've already discussed, buildings constructed within the influence of an ovoo are able to produce double units or research improved versions of technologies. And then they have unique units of Khan and mangudai. So Khan fires powerful signal arrows that enhance nearby troops, and mangudai are mounted archers able to fire whilst moving. So before we dive into the main tech tree, let's have a little look at the Khan. So the Khan effectively replaces your scout in the opening of the game, and like the scout, he's got pretty weak statistics, with only having an attack of 2 and health of 90. So the Khan does improve as you advance through the ages, but in the Dark Age it does have 2 special abilities. First one is Maneuver Arrow. Fire a signal arrow that increases the movement speed of nearby units, including the Khan, by plus 0.5 tiles a second for 5 seconds. Doesn't affect villagers. The other ability that the Khan has is called the Scouting Falcon. Release a falcon that provides vision in the area for 30 seconds. That's probably the falcon we've seen during the initial announcement trailer for the game. So moving into the Feudal Age, your Khan will become stronger. It gains 25 health and it gains 2 more damage and a little bit more range as well. It also gains access to another ability, which is the Attack Speed Arrow. Fires a signal arrow that increases the reload speed of nearby ranged units, including the Khan, by plus 50% for 5 seconds. So that's certainly intended to help buff your mangudai. Moving into the Castle Age, the Khan is improved even further, starting to become quite a strong unit with a range of 7 and an attack of 12. The attack speed's increased, the health has gone up to 300 by this point, which is really tanky, and it does gain access to the final ability, which is Defense Arrow. Fire an arrow that increases the armor of nearby units by plus 3 for 5 seconds. And then when you move into the Imperial Age, the Elite Khan is really strong, with an attack of 24 damage, 7 range and 450 health. It becomes a really strong unit to have. If your Khan does die, it will respawn at your town centre. So moving on to the tech tree, this is probably the civilization that's got the most differences in terms of buildings within the tech tree, and it's really different to everybody else. So they're probably the most unique civ in the game. So we can see on the screen there we have the Gur, the ovoo. These are replacing all your economic buildings. Still get the barrack, stable and dock and the outpost, but we don't get any walls or anything like that. So looking at the Gur, villagers can drop off food, wood and gold at this building. It houses technologies to improve resource gathering. Stone is gathered through the ovoos. But as we can see on the tech tree there, all of the normal economic upgrades are researched through the GER. Following on from that, we've got the ovoo, as we've already spoken about, and as you can see there are quite a few different unique technologies that you can get within there. In terms of the Dark Age technologies, it has superior mobility, so packed buildings move and unpack 50% faster. In the feudal age, we'll have whistling arrows. This increases the Khan's signal arrow duration by +5 seconds and range by 2 tiles. We have raid bounty. Increase the raid income for igniting buildings to 100 food and 100 gold. Now moving into the Castle Age technologies, we have additional torches. This increases the torch damage of all infantry and cavalry by +3. And then finally in the Imperial Age we have stone bounty. Add 75 stone to the raid income for igniting a building. Now looking at the stable, as we can see they do produce early horsemen within the Dark Age, so a Dark Age horseman rush would be really beneficial. Apart from that, everything else is the same. Lancers are just the same as knights. Moving on from there, we have the dock. But all of their military ships are fairly sort of mid-range, I think. Won't go into all the individual unit stats now, there will be a separate video for that. But they do get the arrow ship, the attack ship, demo ship and the warship class. They do have a unique technology which is piracy. This means that they gain +50 wood and +50 gold when sinking an enemy ship. Moving on from there, we do have a unique technology within the outpost, and this one's a Castle Age technology, which is the YAM network. YAM speed aura applies to all units instead of just traders and cavalry units. So the YAM aura is something that affects cavalry and traders when they're near an outpost. They get +15% speed for 20 seconds. Moving on from there, we also have a unique building for the Mongols, which is pastures. This automatically produces a gatherable sheep every 90 seconds. It'll eventually stop producing if too many sheep are produced and not gathered. And that building essentially is in place of farms. Within the market, we do have a unique technology called stone commerce. This is an Imperial Age technology. Having 9 or more active traders causes them to supply stone as well as gold. Having a look at the blacksmith, now the Mongols do not have a university, so essentially what they've done is moved all of the university technologies into the blacksmith, and that's the only difference here. Looking at the archery range, they have a fairly standard archery range with just the addition of mangudai, which can be trained in the feudal age. You can then upgrade them in the Castle Age and Imperial Age respectively. They do also have a unique technology that can be researched in the Castle Age, which is seer bow limbs. Looking at the mangudai, this is a confounding mobile range cavalry that can fire whilst moving. It has a high rate of fire, but it does have low weapon range. The unique technology increases the range damage of mangudai and the Khan by +1. So we have a little look at the statistics for the mangudai. In the feudal age, they cause 7 attack damage with a range of only 3.5, and their health is 85. So they seem to be fairly weak. They're not an armored unit, so they are going to be vulnerable to arrows. Looking at the veteran mangudai, which is the Castle Age upgrade, the attack is increased by 2 and the health goes up to 105. And then finally, the elite mangudai, which is Imperial Age version. This has a 10 attack and the health is increased to 120, but it does still have that fairly low range. So moving on from there, we have the prayer tent. This is essentially their monasteries. They have a shaman instead of a monk, and you can see there's a unique technology there. Monastic shrines. Monasteries allow improved production in their districts even without an ovoo. Moving on from there, looking at the siege workshop, there's just one difference there, and they have the traction trebuchet. So this is a unique unit for the Mongols. That's it for the main tech tree. Let's have a little look at how they advance through the ages and looking at their landmarks. So the 2 buildings that we use to advance to the feudal age are the silver tree and deer stones. So the silver tree acts as a market. It can build traders at +50% faster and at a reduced cost of 50%. Deer stones, when set up, provides the YAM speed aura. Upon completion, instantly grants the YAM network technology. Then looking at the Castle Age, we have the Kurultai. When the Khan is nearby, the Kurultai heals all nearby damage units and provides a +25% bonus damage for 30 seconds. We then have the Steppe Redoubt, which acts as a GER. Gold dropped off at this landmark is increased by +50%. As you can see there, you can get all the normal economic upgrades within this landmark as you would get in the GER. And then advancing to the Imperial Age, we have the White Stupa, which acts as an ovo and produces 240 stone per minute without using a stone outcropping. And the Khanate Palace, this spawns a cavalry army of horsemen, mangudai or lancers every 90 seconds. I think it spawns 4 or 5 units, which is really good. That's it for this one, guys. I hope this has helped you learn a little bit more about the Mongols. On the right hand side of your screen now, we do have a playlist with all the tech tree guides and civ overviews for all civilizations. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more Age of Empires 2 content, and I'll see you on the next one.